I have to say, he drawls, it's such a pleasant surprise to see you exercising some obedience. For a change, go away. Perhaps, he says idly, when the Dark Lord triumphs, we could allow some of the Mudbloods to live after all. They might make rather effective replacements for house elves, don't you think? I raise my head. So what? You're saying that if you lot win, you're going to murder every single Muggle born? You're not even going to give them a chance? Something rips across my forearm. Sorry. I swallow down and when I flick up, I gasp. In my sleeve of my robe there's a small gash on my arm. Not too deep, just deep enough to bleed, ever so slightly. I glare at him. He just smirks at me, his wand twirling leisurely between his fingers. I believe I told you weren't to let us speak. He drawls. But you just... Another gash cuts across the one he's already made, deeper this time. Tears come to my eyes. Oh dear. He smirks at me still. You don't seem to understand what I'm saying. You know. And you know how I dislike it when you don't do as I say. I gulp down tears and drop my gaze, scrubbing hard at the floor. But I believe I can answer your question. Your previous question. He says maliciously. I see no harm in that. Just go away and leave me alone before I say something I'll regret. The original plan was to destroy all the Muggle borns as soon as the war was won. He drawls horribly. But now that we have seen just how effectively Muggle borns can do the work of house elves, perhaps we might suggest to the Dark Lord that we allow some of them to live, so that they can share some of the house elves' workload. It would only be the old ones we would allow to live, of course, the ones that are no longer able to breed. That's sick. I stare up at him, hatred boiling in my blood. That is so sick. Yet another cut rips into my arm. I press my lips together, scrubbing furiously at the floor, and they try to ignore every word he says. Oh God, let me see Lucius Malfoy suffer. Let me see his bones crack. Let me see him bleed, and scream, and cry. Let me see him humiliated at my feet. I curl up into a ball on my bed, shivering, huddling the blankets over me for warmth. I pull the huge, oversized man shirt I'm sleeping in tight around me. It's bloody freezing in here. At home, my bed was next to the radiator. I never got cold at night. There. I never got cold at night there. I can't sleep. If I were at home, I'd be able to turn on my bedside lamp and read a book. Reach for my old teddy bear for cuddle. What? For a cuddle. There we go. Tears come to my eyes and I press my lips together. Home. I'll never see it again. I take a deep breath and press my cold fingertips to my eyelids, pushing the tears back inside me. I turn over on my back, looking up at the ceiling that I can't see through the darkness. It's Lucius's fault. He's the reason I never get any sleep. At night, when I have nothing else to think about, all I do is wonder at the mystery of him. What makes him tick? Why did eventually get bored of taunting me today? What? Why did he eventually get bored of taunting me today? Was it because I bored it? Oh my god. This is so fucking hard to read for no reason. There's a word missing. Why did eventually get bored of taunting me today? There's a word there. Hold on. Why did he eventually get bored of taunting me today? Was it because I ignored him? Maybe if I always ignore him, then perhaps he'll stop taking so much pleasure in tormenting me. After all, when I started to ignore him today, he didn't
He even sneaked at me as he brought me to my room afterwards. But why was he looking at me so strangely before that? I already knew why he was watching me while I was cleaning the floor. The expression I saw on his face when I looked up at him for a split second wasn't what I expected. It was a very odd look. Like he was studying me, trying to work something out about me he can't quite fathom. Oh, I don't know. I'll do anything to know what he's thinking sometimes. A creak. My breath stops in my chest as an iron fist grabs at my heart. I know that sound. It's a slow, groaning creak on my door. It shuts. It clicks. It's locked. I bolt upward, staring into the darkness, bunching my sheets up in my hands in terror. Who's there? I hardly get out the words out of fear. No answer. Breathing. Heavy. Too heavy. I can't see anything. I said, who's there? My voice shakes in my throat. The darkness swallows my words. No answer. Light footsteps move cautiously and ever so slowly across the room. Is it him? No, it can't be. What the hell would he be doing here at this time of night? What does it look like he's doing? But he said that he wouldn't. He said that he would never. Don't tell yourself that this hasn't always been a possibility. I suppose it's always been a fear of mine, ever since he turned up in my bedroom at home. But I can't. Oh God, please. The footsteps stop at the foot of my bed, and the breathing grows heavier, more ragged. I don't breathe, because I can't. I just curl in on myself at the top of my bed, cringing with fear. Lumos. My breath leaves my body in a giant, frightened rush. That wasn't his voice. Light flickers into the darkness of the room, illuminating the intruder. Dolokhov stands at the foot of the bed, leering at me horribly in the dear light. Oh God. Good evening, my dear. His face is twisted in a gruesome leer. I scramble quickly off the bed, untangling myself from the bed clothes. Okay, from here. Okay. What is it? I ask, hugging my arms defensively around my chest. What do you want? Why did I ask that? Why? He runs his tongue over his lower lip, his saliva glistening in the wan light. I think I've made it perfectly obvious already, don't you? My insides all clench up tight and do themselves in knots as he comes closer, closer, backing me quickly into the wall until I'm pressed into the cold stone, not even able to breathe for fear. His breathing grows heavier as he places his hand on the wall by my head. The wan light dances in his dilated pupils. He runs his eyes over me, north to south. I bolt to the side, but his arm clamps around my waist, pinning me back against the wall. He stinks of alcohol. Get away from me! I hiss at him. He laughs softly, his grip on me tightening as I struggle. Oh, come now. He breathes his hot on my face, making me gag. I've already seen your body. Nurse comes naturally, wouldn't you agree? He grips at my face, wrenching it to the side. Something hot and wet runs across my cheek. He's licking my face. I think I'm gonna be sick. It's so creepy. Ew. What a weirdo. He pulls back away from me, smacking his lips as he takes a deep, nauseating breath. You taste fantastic. So young, so fresh, so undeniably dirty. I can almost taste your filthy blood running that delicious skin of yours. Fuck off! I scream in a sudden rage, and I try to hit out of him, but he slaps me across the face. Not as hard as Lucius does, but hard enough. You touch me! I spit the words at him, but I realize that I don't know what to say. What could I possibly threaten him with?
Yes. You'll do what exactly?
That does not... Okay. Yes. Yes.
Yes. You'll do what exactly?
No. I remember. He must do, too. She's in one blood. Remember. There's one thing I can threaten him with, for all it's worth. I take a deep, juddering breath. If you touch me, I say again, I'll tell Lucius. He laughs out loud at that.
And you really think he'll care?
I suck my breath in shakily. He stopped you before. I say desperately. He'll do it again.
Will he?
He asks mockingly, and his hand shifts upright onto my breast, squeezing it hard through the thin shirt. I wince at the touch, the horrible, clumsy brutality of it.
And why would he do that, do you think?
Why does he want me to answer that? His hand twists at my breast, and I struggle harder against him, but he points his wand at me, and I find myself stuck to a wall, with only my head being left mobile. I press my lips together to stop myself from bursting into tears.
Would he stop me, perhaps, because he doesn't want anyone else to touch his little muggle whore?
He spits the word out at me, and his long nails dig into my breast.
Oh yes, I've guessed at what's
been going on between the pair of you.
But don't worry, the Dark Lord doesn't need to know about it, just as long as you promise to be nice to me.
What the hell is he talking about? Be nice to you, I hiss, trying in vain to struggle against his invisible force that holds me against the wall. But I can't move, can't do anything.
I'd rather eat
Bolterber pus.
Manners, mudblood.
Oh, that manners, mudblood. I must keep out the different accents of the people. He's just gotta be ridiculous. And I'm sorry about that. No, I'm not. You're a fucking asshole. I don't care about you. He squeezes my breast roughly through my t-shirt.
I bet you don't talk to Lucius like this. I bet you let him do whatever he likes to you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I start when he slaps me across the face again.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, you little bitch.
He hisses. His hand moves away from my breast, moving. Okay, we're good. Never mind. Moving down my stomach, and I struggle for all I'm worth against the power that holds me to the wall as my legs lock together automatically, all of my insides clenching with fear.
Get away from me!
I scream before I spit in his face. He grabs me by the shoulders and slams me back into the wall. I cry out as my head bangs against the stone, sending shock waves of pain through my body. Pain again, I guess.
You uppity little brat! He hisses at me. You let him do what he wants readily enough, don't you? You spread your legs for him.
Stop it!
You spread your legs for him, I'm sure. Why can't you do the same for me? What's wrong with me?
His words slam into me like fists in my stomach. They knock all the wind out of me. I open my mouth, and I scream. Scream. He clamps his hand tight over my mouth.
Shut up and do as I say, or I swear I'll make things worse from you.
What the hell? Do you think... Oh, fuck. You should, at some point, lady, do what you're supposed to do. What the hell do you think you're doing? I can't do it anymore. I lost it. What the hell do you think you're doing? I gasp in sheer relief. I didn't hear the door open. I didn't even hear the door open. Dolohov turns around. The dark figure in the doorway strides swiftly over to us, pulling Dolohov away from me. Thank God. Thank God. Dolohov's wand falls out of his grip, and he turns as he's thrown to the ground, and for a moment it illuminates Lucius' face. His expression on it terrifies me. I've seen him angry, of course. Before, of course I have. Countless times, but now it's